You have to watch this video. The information we provide in this video is critical for all RVers to know.
There are tens of thousands of people looking for RVs at any given time, whether it's your first RV or whether you're looking to upgrade an RV. We are going to give you some must-do tips to help you through this process.
So we're on our second RV, and in retrospect, we did the same thing for the first two RVs, but on our third RV, we won't do the same. So let's talk about buying a new RV. And like I just said, our first two RVs we bought new. The first one was a Jayco travel trailer, and then the Newmar that we ordered in 2018 as a 19. There are advantages of buying a new RV. You custom order it the way you want, whatever colors you want. You're the first owner. Nobody's ever used it before.
It has the new smell.
The new smell.
It doesn't smell like other people.
Correct. Although ours doesn't smell like other people. At least I don't think so.
That is true.
And then you have the warranty, although the warranty can be questionable at times. With all that being said, our next RV will likely, highly likely be a used RV because of a lot of reasons. 98%
I'll say is going to be used. Number one is depreciation. So when you get that new RV and you drive it off the lot, many of you know this, it immediately loses a lot of value.
The second reason is that you have more buying power buying used. And what do I mean about that? You can buy more RV for your budget, right? So for example, like a brand new Dutch Star, the MSRP, they're over $700,000, and that's not what you're paying for them, but you can get a used one for significantly less. And we're not talking about 10 years old. We're talking about maybe 2 years old, hundreds of thousands of dollars less. So you have significantly more buying power. And then finally, many RVs, the issues you're gonna have are gonna be with those first 1 or 2 years, which are under warranty. But why do you wanna deal with that, right? A lot of these RVs that have been owned, the shakedown, the issues have been handled either by the owner or the manufacturer. And if you do your homework and you listen to the other things we're gonna tell you, you can get a really good deal.
The next one, and I know a lot of people that do this, and
they did it in COVID a lot.
God bless you, yes, is buying sight unseen. A lot of people are okay with that. That's not something that we would recommend, and definitely not something. Don't do it, guys. Yeah, we would not do.
Guys, here are some of the reasons you should never buy sight unseen. It is a rare occasion when RVs come directly from the manufacturer without issues. Never mind ones that are on the dealership lot. We've been to many dealership lots. The doors are left open. We've seen mouse poop in these things. Batteries that are dead.
Right, we're thinking
things that are laying out with slides open when it's snowing out. You don't know who's going in and out of them. You don't know how it was treated. Do not, repeat, do not buy an RV sight unseen. And if you're gonna buy an RV, the next one's really important.
So the next one, if you are gonna buy and you're not gonna take our advice, it's fine. Definitely always, and you know what I'm gonna say it with me, get an RV inspection. A lot of people say, even on new, yes, even more so on new lately with, the quality control issues over the last few years since COVID. An inspection is really, really important because when these things are being made new, like I said, this is not, 10, 15 years ago where the quality was a little bit different. There's a lot of things that are not being done, and where actually the dealership is becoming the last step of the
quality control process.
Yeah, exactly. So you want that inspection done there. And if a dealership gives you a hard time, we've said this a million times too, go somewhere else. You have to be respected and know you are paying a lot of money for this, and it's really, really important. We have very good friends. Many of you know Pierre and Laurel of Blue Ox RV Inspection. We'll link their channel down below. They have tons of videos all about different inspections and what we're found, and many of them on brand new RVs.
Now, if you buy an RV from a dealership, they're going to have a PDI process. Some dealerships are much better than others, but the reality is a lot of times the PDI process is nothing more than them, I don't even know what they do because they miss so many obvious things in the PDI. So don't be fooled about bypassing a certified third-party inspector because you got a PDI, because many inspectors, right after the RV's PDI, both at the factory and at the dealership, find major problems.
The next one is really huge, and this is something that we kind of really didn't do, or I wish we had have done more, which is not considering the towing capacity and the cargo carrying capacity. So as many of you know, we tow our Mustang with a 6'1" husband, 5'9", and then a 6'5" son. When we travel, that's a little challenging, so I'm scrunched in the back. We would love to tow our Ram, but we can't because we don't have enough towing capacity.
And now, talking about the towables, you want to make sure your tow vehicle. Now, when we had our Jayco, we did make sure of this. You want to make sure that your tow vehicle is capable of towing your RV. And now I'm talking about the dry weight, because unless you're traveling with absolutely nothing in your RV, which you're not, you have to take this into consideration. A big area, you'll see the half-ton fifth wheels. That's kind of a marketing thing. There's very few half-tons that can tow fifth wheels. I'm not saying that there aren't out there, but they're very few. You have to talk about the towing capacity as well as the payload of that tow vehicle.
The next one, and this is definitely something we did the first time around when we got our trailer, because we really didn't know anything, is not researching and making sure you're getting the best price that you possibly can.
And this was very apparent during COVID. People were paying things MSRP over MSRP, and right now those people are in a world of hurt if they're not repoed already. There's no way you're going to be able to sell an RV that you paid MSRP for at what you paid for. Like, these are not even assets. These are depreciating items. You want to make sure you get a fair price. 30, 40%, 45% off is not unheard of in many different brands. So don't be afraid to go out there and to get a good price. There is a good resource out there. It's called RV Appraisals. They have a website, and what they do is, and we have no affiliation to them, send them the RV you're gonna get, and then they do a fair market value. So they compare it to other RVs that are out there, what's been sold, how long it's been sitting to be sold, and they give you a real world market price, because the NADA is made for dealerships. So just keep that in mind.
The more you can do your due diligence, do your own research, the better. Before we get to the next one, excuse the sound. Every time we go, if we're away, at home, whatever, we go to record, the thunder starts and it's downpouring. So
the grass is really green and everything's nice and green.
Yeah, that's nice.
So getting into the buying too big, buying too small, a couple things. The floor plans, you want to buy a floor plan that's comfortable for who's going to be in the RV. For you, your significant other, your kids if they're going to be traveling. Don't worry about what your kids think of it, what your friends think of it, because ultimately you're making the payments, right? You're buying that, so you have to be comfortable in that RV. Now, we see a lot, the van life is a huge thing right now, and kudos to people that can travel in vans. Well, I'm gonna say this, if it's more than 2 people, man, a van is pretty tough. That, like, realistically.
You like the interstate.
I do, but it would be me and you. But if you have more than 2 people, you have dogs, if you have kids, guys, really consider like the Class Bs or the smaller ones. I would go out and rent them because they are tight inside.
Yeah.
Not only they're tight inside, they have limited capabilities as far as tanks, if tanks at all.
Yeah.
Storage, it's a big issue.
It also depends too on you. For example, Jason is 6'5", right? Our son, if you don't know Jason, he's 6'5". He's not going to do very well in a van. You have to take into into consideration yourself.
Correct. And now we'll go on the flip side and say going too big. We have 37 feet. We've considered going bigger. But at the same time, listen, the more stretched out, the more real estate you have, the more there is to maintain, the more expensive it is to maintain. It takes a lot more time for me to clean a 37-foot motorhome, washing it, versus a 17 or 18-foot van or a car, right? Like, it takes at least an hour to wash just quickly.
Yes, and also it takes a lot more that you have to consider now in terms of traveling when you're on the road, right? If you're too high, if you're too wide, if you're too long, can you stay in certain state parks? There's going to be places that you can't stay if you have a 45-footer.
Correct.
And you just have to know that and be okay with it.
So the next one is a common one, and RVs are expensive, no doubt, especially when you start getting into the motorized. The next one's gonna be not leaving enough down payment, financing for too long, 20 years, i.e. also not having a budget for outfitting your RV, as well as what it takes to even furnish your RV. Guys, a lot of people make these mistakes. You don't realize, but we didn't know, right? Like, how expensive it is to keep something like this behind it. And this is like a little over entry-level motorhome. Diesel would be far more expensive to keep on the road. Every time we take this thing out, like every time this hits the road, it's a minimum. I take it to the repair facility, it's a minimum of $75 just in fuel. Every time we go out camping, $200 in fuel, $200 to $300 in camp fees, plus whatever we spend going out. So it can get really expensive. And you don't want to have an RV that you buy and it's just sitting in your driveway, because that's a really bad thing. So take that into consideration, especially on the longer term loans. If you're pulling out on a 20-year loan, you're not gonna have any kind of equity in your RV. If you decide to upgrade, if you decide to trade in, you're probably gonna be underwater. So we initially took a 15-year loan. We put a big down payment, but we knew we were going to refinance. So a year later, we refinanced to a 5-year loan, and our motorhome is pretty much paid off. Like, it'll be paid off in less than a year.
We're getting close, which scares me because the temptation then is there to, you know.
Well, I've told this to friends, you know, say, oh, when are you gonna get a new RV? And I said, you know what the best RV is out there? Oh, a Prevost, a new. I said, no. The best RV is one you don't have a payment on, right? That's the best way. And listen, would we love a new RV? Yeah, we probably would. But would we love not having? Listen, it's a big payment, right?
Yeah.
We would love not doing that, and then you have a lot of freedom to be able to use this RV to travel to a lot of areas. So in the comments below, let us know, have you made any of these mistakes? Do you have any tips when getting an RV, whether that's upgrading or a new RV, especially for new RVers?
Yes, definitely share them in the comments below. Let us know what you think. And
then to the left of us, if you like videos like this, we're gonna put our RV newbies playlist, we'll put our RV tours playlist. Hopefully the thunder holds off. And for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.